Okay, I'm sorry, it just loaded. I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi is really bad. Okay, I got it. They're all selected.
Okay.
Can we repeat
And
from
then
the beginning? How from the Sales Hub?
you want me to start from the beginning with Sales
Sales
Hub?
app. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Like a
Yep.
So
very, very
here,
fast. Why does it say someone started recording on here? Is someone screen recording me? I'm so sorry.
I'm going to record the whole thing because some of your questions come up in training and we need to address them. And I have to put it in training decks and I can't remember everything. I'm just recording the training.
I'm sorry, it looked like it just popped up. You don't need to start from the very, very beginning, but if you're already about to, like if you do like a very like fast version of it, I'm not.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
Let's just
that's
take
fine.
our time because trust me, in the field,
Right.
it's so critical that this is right. So
Yeah, just
yeah.
I can slow down. Okay, so this is the home screen here for the iPhone is in the middle, and you'll click Sales Hub at the bottom. To get this menu for the Android to pop up, it's in the hamburger menu in the upper left-hand corner. And you'll also click on Sales Hub. Then it'll bring you to a map. But before we get into that,
Actually, I'm not getting that. So you said Android and iPhone. Which one is for iPhone?
iPhone is the one in the middle. Are you on the app or the website? If you're on the website, it's going to look totally different.
I'm on the app.
Okay, so the website, the app, for Apple, your screen should look like the middle screen here on this.
Okay, so I'm clicking on that kind of martini glass.
Yeah, so that's on the next screen. So after you click on Sales Hub, then you will get to this screen here, and iPhone is in the middle again, and click on the filter.
Okay.
And then that's where we are toggling all of the buttons on to the right. And then each of these has a drop-down menu. So if you click where the triangle is, it will drop down for you. For leads, when you click on that one, we want it to be filter date by and then choose date created. It may already default to that, but we just need to make sure that that's what it says, date created. And then for quick date, it should say all time. So if it says today, just click where it says today and then choose all time.
Tara, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Once they are set up on this, and they're in the field every day, do they have to go back in and do all of this, or are they setting this app up for the first time and everything is remembered, like it's a recall?
Generally, I do experience occasionally with some people, and I don't know if it is operator error, like maybe they went into their filters and accidentally changed something. Occasionally, you do have to go in and change it, but if you haven't touched them, they should remain the same. The only time you would have to go in and redo all of this is if you uninstall and reinstall. It does not stay how we're setting it up now.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Tara, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. Under shared leads, under quick date on the screen, it shows today should be selected, but you're saying to select all time.
Right. Yes. This is this is old. I need to change this graphic. It should say all time. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure everybody caught that and they're not just looking at the graphic and setting it as the graphic shows.
Thanks, Jen.
Yes, thank you. And let's see. If you do have the areas option on yours, you will want to change that, the quick date, or make sure that it says all time as well. And then once you have all of those set, you can click out of that screen, click done. And then it should bring you back to your map. For zooming in and out, you just use your fingers like you would, you know, with a picture or whatever on the phone, on your phone. This is just an example, so everybody's is going to be different. It just depends on where you're at. The blue dot is your exact GPS location. If you zoom out a little bit, you will see purple circles. Nobody has a zone right now. This red box here is what is considered a zone. Your zones will all be different colors. So mine are red, but yours will be a different color. And when we zoom out a little bit, the data points are joined into clusters. That's what the purple circle is. And the number in the purple circle is how many data points or homes are in that area. So if you add up all of the numbers in the purple circles, that is how many houses are in this box. Zone, excuse me. You will be assigned 2 zones when you are in the field. So all your data points will be within a certain area, which will be colored whatever color your zone is. As I said, everybody's is a different color.
And your zones will come from Marcelo most of the time, and maybe perhaps from Jen, because Jen is supporting Marcelo on the project. So that will help you guys. They'll probably do, I assume they'll probably do them the evening before. I know Tara, when do you do your zones? You do it the night before, or do you do it the morning when you show up?
I do it the night before.
Okay.
So if you zoom in further into the zone, you will be able to see the these diamonds are data points, and each home will have one. And those are what we use to keep track of what we did at each home. So when you are, is anybody driving? Or is everybody driving?
I think only, I don't know how Marcelo and Jen are going to set that up yet.
Okay, well, driving instructions or directions are available in this app instead of you having to put it in separately. So if you pick a data point on the map where you want to start, this box here at the bottom of the graphic will pop up. And then this arrow, if you just click it, it will pull up the default mapping or directions app that you have on your phone and give you directions to that exact location. So it is helpful.
I'm sorry, can you go back on that? How do you get to that screen?
If you click on one of the diamonds, the data points, it will pull up this screen at the bottom. It will give you the homeowner's name, address, some other information. Sometimes it will tell you how much they make per year, their credit score, all kinds of fun stuff.
Big brother watching.
Right. And this information is all pulled from the census as well as SalesRabbit's MLS partners. Sometimes it's not correct or up to date, but yeah, that's not really important for what we're doing.
Got it.
Okay, so as you go to each door, you will click on the data point that is at that address. And once again, each data point, when you click on it, this screen at the bottom will pop up. And there are multiple icons. These icons change over time just depending on the programs that we're working. The only 2 icons that you will need to use during this project are the purple circle with the door tag on it. DH stands for door hanger. And then the red circle with the white X, NA for no access. The door hanger, I mean, most of your icons will be the door hanger, but if you come to a house where it's no soliciting, beware of dog, that type of thing, no trespassing or private property, then you would mark the data point with the red circle with the white X in it. But for the most part, you'll be just using the door hangers majority of the time. When you check data point, when you place your icon or your tag, it does change the lead status. That screen at the bottom will disappear, and it also tracks your GPS location and time. Sometimes when you click on a data point, it will pull up multiple people. Sometimes it's everybody that lives in the home currently, or it could be multiple homeowners, past and present. We only want to use the first set of icons. If you tag all 3 of these people, it will look like you tagged the house 3 times. So we only want to use one. And the one that pops up first is the most current information.
I have a question.
Yes.
So there's one here that says, for example, there's a number, there's 30, it's a building. And
is it an apartment building?
Yeah. How would I go
Okay.
on that?
In that case, so we're kind of getting to that. If you click on that circle with the 30, it will populate 30 different apartments. So in that case, you would use that circle as a data point, but you will have to go into it multiple times as you approach each apartment. So you'll tag, whichever one is appropriate to the apartment that you're at. Sometimes it will have apartment numbers, sometimes it doesn't. And that is something that we are getting to. Dropping a pin is what we call it when there is no data point for an address. We will add it. And I'll get to that here in just a second. So as I mentioned before, when you tag a house, it does record your location, GPS location, and the time. We have a proximity location indicator, and the green check mark means that you were there at the door. The red X means you were not within 100 feet of the door when that tag was placed there on SalesRabbit. And then the 2 half circles, the yellow half circles, mean you were just somewhere in between. So ideally, we want all green check marks. If for some reason you forgot to tag a door and you're down the block already, if you have 1 red X out of 200, it's not the end of the world. But really, we want all green check marks. The occasional, yellow half circles is okay too, but don't feel like you have to go all the way back to that address to place the tag or to add the tag on SalesRabbit. You could just do it at the location that you're at, because it does happen. Sometimes you forget. If you're unable to hook the door tag, you can leave it in a different spot. I don't recommend opening screen doors. It sounds to the people inside like you are trying to open their door and then they get scared and that's not good. So you can stick it, in the jamb between the weather stripping, put it under a flower pot. These are just some examples. It is illegal to put it in a mailbox. So that is a no-no. We do not want to do that. If you can't find anywhere else to leave it, you can put it in the newspaper slot if they have one available, but definitely not the mailbox. Okay, so this is what I was referring to earlier, dropping a pin. So this will be used often at apartment complexes, and if you are in a newer development and the neighborhood doesn't exist yet on Google Earth, you will also have to drop a pin in that case. And right now, if you would like to drop a pin at your location, we'll just follow along with these instructions, and we'll put a pin right where you're at. So the iPhone graphic is in the middle again, and then Android is on the right. We'll click the little pin button, upper right for iPhone, lower right for Android. And then this screen here at the bottom, the lead menu will pop up. And then we are going to choose the status. So choose either the door hanger or the no access. And then you just touch right on the map where you want it to go. And if you're in a apartment complex, what I do is I just drop the pin right next to the blue dot because that's where you're standing.
Sometimes it won't, though. We've run into that today.
Really?
If you're in a part, yeah. So I just told Ray, have the team member just drop a pin like as close as they can to the building, like in the parking lot or whatever. Because I had that happen in Florida as well. It wouldn't drop the pin by the blue dot.
Huh. That's interesting.
But
I
I
have
do
not
want to
experienced
say,
that.
yeah. Look, you're not having any fun then. I do want to say, if you're dropping a pin in an apartment complex, you do need to notate the apartment number in the notes, but it's one pin per apartment. You don't list multiple apartments per pin. It's one pin per apartment. Apartment A, apartment B, they would all be separate pins. If that makes sense, please, for my sanity. Thank you so much.
And if you, okay, so once you've dropped your pin, if you click on it, it will bring up the lead screen again, and you will see there is a note box. But you can also, so as Julie was saying about adding the apartment, you don't necessarily want to add it in the note box. You want to click on the pencil to edit it, and then you will see that there is a spot for apartment/suite number. And you'll put it in there, and then it won't turn it into Greek on Julie's report.
Oh, nice. I forgot that that was an option.
I am a little lost on that, honestly.
On how to drop a pin?
It's a little different. Yeah, so I drop a pin and then the lead menu opens up. It looks a little different than, I don't have the question mark, the no option.
Oh yeah, yours are going to look different than this. We change the icons just depending on each project. So the only ones that you need to concentrate on are just the door hanger and the no access. These change quite often.
Okay, and where would I leave the apartment number again?
So drop the pin, choose, the door hanger or the no access, and then put it on the menu, and then you'll click on that spot again.
Tap
click on the
purple,
pin.
Tap the
Yeah,
purple and a menu comes up. And you have an Android or an iPhone, Marcelo?
iPhone.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And you'll see the note screen, but you don't want to put the apartment number in the notes. You want to actually click on the pencil to edit it, and then put it in the spot where it says apartment/suite.
Got it. So to drop a pin I have to select an option from the menu, like door hanger, and then click again on the blue dot. That's how it drops the pin.
Yeah. Near the blue dot if you can. I haven't run into what Julie said, but if it's happening in the field, there's a chance it could happen to you. So yeah, just somewhere close to the blue dot.
Got it. Yeah, I was just wondering. I thought when I clicked on the purple circle, it already dropped the pin, but now I have to go back on the map and click again.
Correct. Yep. Yes,
okay.
That is correct.
And keep in mind that this will slow your apartments down, because people like to blow through apartments because they're so fast it increases their velocity. But it's more important that we get the accuracy. That's why our velocity is only 40 an hour. If you've ever done other tagging projects, they're going 60s, 80s, but we just want the information to be accurate. And, you know, it does take a little longer, but it's just the way it is, guys. Sorry. Door tagging has ramped up technically, and it's going to be, I'm going to do full disclosure here. It's going to be tough. The first day getting used to this is tough. Okay. So just like I said, breathe, do yoga that morning and feel good.
Eat your vegetables.
Eat your vegetables, baby.
Is it possible to whoever's screen recording to swipe out of the notifications banner? It doesn't matter too much, but that just like might. Does anyone else know what I'm talking about?
I'm presenting, so I can't see what you're seeing.
Like on the screen recording, do you have a notification up top on the top banner? And then if you swipe out of it, it'll show like exactly what, just kind of like what option you're at for like the. Does no one else see that?
Vicky, I was
what
able to
screen
close out of
recording?
mine.
What
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm
I
confused.
was able to
about?
close out of mine on my own. Like I X'd out of it.
Like for later, it doesn't matter. No, you're okay. Keep going. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna.
No, you're okay, Vicky. Whatever you've got.
If anyone has any questions, I'm gonna screenshot it and I will show them later. But it's okay.
Yeah, screenshot your questions and we can answer them directly.
Oh, you mean in the chat?
No,
I
but
think
it's
she's talking about the notification on the top. It says someone's screen recording. I think that's what she's
Oh,
talking
you can
about.
just hit the X and it will clear.
Yeah, I did it. I mean, it's gone.
Yeah, it's on your screen, not anybody else's.
Yeah. And I'm just recording this, guys, just so you guys ask good questions and we're just trying to address them. Every training has different questions.
Yes.
If you could share the recording with us as well, I'd really appreciate that, just to be able to like go back in and cover.
And you'll get this deck too.
Yeah, I can email out the recording of this training as well. I usually upload it to YouTube and then share the link because it's just easier across the board for all the different versions.
Right. Sometimes it can take a little while for the door tags to show up. It can take up to 5 minutes. So no need to fret if you see the house that you were just at doesn't have a door tag populated. Just be patient. It's not really a huge problem unless you have bad service in the area. Then, it's got to travel to the satellite and back. So it can take a little while, but just so you know that you don't want to immediately, if you don't see the door tag there, you don't want to immediately go back and try to tag it again, because then it will show 2 door tags at that location. So just be patient. If you get to the end of the block and it's still not there, then I would say you can re-tag it, but don't be in too much of a hurry. This is an example of the GPS location. This is a door tagging project that we did. This is 3 different people's work. You can see here it says Lance Fredrickson was at this spot on October 12th, 2022 at 7:40 a.m. This is what your screen will look like if you guys are working in teams. It will look similar to this. You can see the fully purple tags are this user's own tags. The tags that are circled in red are another door tagger. And then the ones circled in, I don't know if that's bluish green, are a different person. If for some reason you do lose signal, the app is still recording, so you can keep going. Hopefully that's not an issue, but yeah, no data will be lost. It will upload as soon as you have signal again or are on Wi-Fi. Troubleshooting. So unfortunately, Androids seem to have more issues than iPhones. So what I suggest first is double check that your filters are all set correctly still. What I mentioned before, sometimes they get messed up and I'm not exactly sure how it happens. I have not experienced that myself, so that's why I wonder if it's user error, but I don't know. So if your filters are correct, if you log out and log back in, that will cause an automatic refresh if that still doesn't work. And when I say troubleshooting, this would be like you can't see your data points or you can't see the zone that you're in. You know that you're supposed to be in a zone in the neighborhood that you're at. These are the troubleshooting suggestions, I guess is what I would say. And when logging in and out, you don't want to just, take the app off of your screen. You want to make sure that you swipe it completely away so that you actually have to log back in again. We've had people get confused where they're like, I keep logging it in and out and it's not working. But really all they did was just, take the app off their screen. They didn't fully close it. If none of those work, you can give me a call. Or actually, first, before that, uninstall and reinstalling solves almost all issues, but that's usually the last step that I suggest. Sometimes people's phones just upload or download the information a little bit slower. So maybe if you have a 4G phone, it can take a little bit longer to see the zone or for your data points to populate. But yeah, if all else fails, uninstall, reinstall, and if that still doesn't work, then you can give me a call or I can call SalesRabbit. But hopefully we don't have any of those issues. We really haven't had too much of that going on, so hopefully that continues. And this is what the report looks like at the end of the day. You can see that it does say the date and time each tag was dropped. So if Julie's watching your velocity and you haven't placed a tag in 15 minutes or so, she may call or text you and see what's going on. And this is everybody's favorite slide. Just a reminder, we don't pee in people's yards.
It has happened, y'all. It has happened.
It has. You can always ask for a bathroom break. And no smoking or vaping while we're in the neighborhood. If you are a smoker and you need to take a break, just as long as it's not in the neighborhood where we are tagging, that is not a problem. And if you don't have a phone, you can't work. So please make sure that you always show up with your phone at 100%. My team always brings their cords with them anytime they're in the car. They just plug in, even if it's just for 5 minutes. If you have a backup battery, please bring it. But yeah, it's very important. This app is constantly, using your GPS signal, so it will drain the battery.
And also, I think when I interviewed those of you that are on here, I said that's super critical. Tara is speaking about more of, because they drive more. And by the way, guys, you guys are just door tagging. Tara is in charge of getting 15,000 canvassers to move around communities. She's actually in Tennessee right now. So they actually knock on the doors and talk to people. So their batteries, obviously, they're out longer, they drain more, but they do get in the cars to go from neighborhood to neighborhood. You probably won't be in the cars as much with these door tagging. That's kind of depends on how Marcelo and Jen route you guys. But I just wanted to give you a heads up to how important the battery packs, and to give Tara kudos for what she's doing on all the canvassing, because it's huge.
It's not 15,000 canvassers, it's 15,000 doors.
Oh yeah, sorry, not 15,000. Whoa, sorry.
That would be a feat.
yeah, that would be insane.
Yes, so definitely charge your phone, please. This is different for each project. So the number one here is not necessarily correct for your particular project. But we do always make sure that everything's legal. We get a permit if needed, if there's background checks needed. So we do check with City Hall and the police to make sure that all of our bases are covered so that nobody gets in trouble. If there's a HOA president that stops you, or a concerned homeowner, just explain what you're doing. Always let your supervisor know. And that way, if there's a decision made where maybe you need to move neighborhoods, yeah, they'll know what's going on. And that is it.
Okay,
Clear
does
as mud.
anybody have any questions for Tara about SalesRabbit?
It's a lot, you guys, to absorb.
It
It is
is.
often a deal breaker. If you aren't very technical, it's a very, very tough job. But if you get in, then pretty soon it will become like clockwork. You'll just, yeah, she's done it so much. She's like, and she has teams that repeat with her across the US. And yeah, but the first day, please do not get totally frustrated. I mean, you're going to get frustrated. I mean, I guarantee you, but don't lose your you-know-what, because it is just hard.
Yeah. But once you're in there and you're using it and you're used to it, I mean, it'll be fine. It seems like a lot of information, but you'll be fine.
And by the way, that one slide that she said, here are the 3 taggers, when she said circled in blue and circled in red, that was she, I, and Lance. We were testing this. We were testing this app. So I got to go door to door. She got to go door to door. And yeah, those are the 3.
And it was frustrating.
It was. Yeah.
We were calling Robin every 5 minutes.
Yeah, why is it doing this? I'm coming to you from a field position here. Okay. I'm not coming to you because in a throne that says, oh, you need to do it this way. It was frustrating. And I'm kind of an old fart that doesn't get the technical stuff. So you got to understand, it was tough.
We've got it down
I
now.
think Robert has a question.
Yep. You're on mute, Robbie.
Oh, still can't hear
Yeah, I'm
you.
trying to unmute it. 1 second.
Okay. Oh, he was unmuted briefly.
There.
It's like it doesn't want to stay unmuted.
Do you want to type it in the chat?
Yeah, you're going to have to type it in the chat, I think.
Are we going to call Robbie for fixing stuff? We're gonna have trouble.
Wow, Lois just called him out. Man.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we can hear you now.
No, I can't hear him again.
It's a struggle. I think you're going to have to either email it or type it in the chat, Robbie. Claire, you're muted now.
Robbie, we will see you after the project.
You can? Oh, well. I'll type it in.
Yesterday, his internet was tough.
Oh, I heard you now.
The day before. So yeah. It was
I think you're good to go, Robbie. Just say something.
I can hear you. Yeah.
It's like it's really, really delayed or something.
Just write it in the chat. Did he do that? No.
No, there's nothing in the chat. Does anybody else have a question? So if nobody has a question for Tara, we're going to let her go and we'll stay on and I'll zip through some of the other program requirements real quick. We'll go over those.
You can hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's really delayed. I think there's an issue because
you might want to take some of this money you're getting off this program, upgrade that internet, baby.
Oh, geez, Claire.
Hey, if Lavish can be a smart ass, I can too, right? Come on.
But Tara's still, it might be a little too soon for Tara in the internet prodding, right, Tara?
Well, I am moving. We'll see how the new internet is.
Oh my God, no, no.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. So Tara, we'll see you probably in about 20 minutes, right? Because you're going to give Marcelo the supervisor training, correct?
Yes.
And then we got to talk about Jen Guth for tomorrow because she could not make the one in 20 minutes. So we'll chat about that. I got to talk to you about your flight reservations and we got to talk. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, do I need to send a new invite or, oh, I guess I could just change the time on the other one?
Yeah, just probably just change the time.
Okay.
We'll find out. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Great training. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Tara. All right, so we all know our event is where door tagging. Oh, I thought I changed this. This is not correct for DFW Flower Mound, Louisville. We're door tagging for Skokie and Glenview, correct?
Correct.
You know what? Let me stop screen sharing for a minute. I did not adjust this. I apologize. I didn't adjust this for Illinois.
So here's the big picture. It's Skokie and Glenview. I don't know if you're going to do Glenview first or Skokie, depending on what Marcelo and Jen decide. But there are 9 total areas. They're going to look at the results from the first 2 to decide if they're doing all 9. They've been getting very good results from this, very good results. So I'm assuming it won't change for Chicago, Florida, Dallas. So they're going to keep it going. But there are 9 total areas, but the ones that you're concerned about immediately are Skokie and Glenview.
Yeah, so all of this is irrelevant. Whoops. So I'll update this with the correct addresses. I'll put the Wild Fork food addresses in there for Skokie and Glenview. So you guys have that at your disposal. But the rest of it's the same. The dress code, I have not reached out to Ashley about shirts and she hasn't mentioned anything. So we're just going to assume she's not providing branded shirts. We are going to wear either a red, white, or black t-shirt or long sleeve shirt. You guys are getting into your cold season. Just a comfortable pair of pants or jeans because all you're doing is door tagging. You're not talking to anyone. You can wear sunglasses if the sun's still out in your area when you're doing this. And if you need to wear a hat, you can wear a black unbranded baseball cap. Our key messaging. So I will say this for Skokie and for Glenview, you guys are allowed, their policies are for door-to-door solicitation 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. But for Skokie, they allow 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., but no door tagging on Sundays. I will include that in this deck as well. So that information is at your guys' fingertips. But they do have specifications. And I would also say when you see a door that says no soliciting or no trespassing, just pass it by. Don't leave a tag anyway, because people tend to get very angry and then they start calling and reporting things. And it's just better to avoid them. If they don't want solicitation, it's not a big deal. Just pass them. And in SalesRabbit, you would mark it as no access. So our key messaging, we're not knocking on doors. We're not talking to people. If somebody stops you, this is what your key messaging is. Over 450 meat and seafood options from beef, chicken, and fish, all the way up to alligator and bison. It's high quality meat and seafood options at day-to-day low prices. For example, a 2.5 pound bag of chicken wings is available for under $10 a pound or $10 or a pound of ground beef for under $6, and a variety for all lifestyles, family or individual package options, pre-seasoned and ready to eat meal selections for convenience, organic and grass-fed. And I do know that beef is raised in the United States. Colorado is one of the states that the beef comes from. So Roosted HR, this is one of the apps that you're going to utilize. Everybody wants to get paid. I know I enjoy paychecks. Claire, wink, wink. So you want to make sure you download your Roosted HR app before you head out on the first day. You're going to download the app and log in and make sure you have access to it. You cannot clock in and out. You guys all received your onboarding paperwork and it linked you to the website, the Roosted HR website. You can't clock in and out through that website. You do have to do it through the app. So you're going to download that and then click on your shift. You'll see your shifts aren't in right now. So if you do download it and log in, you will not see a shift. So don't panic. There's nothing in there for you yet.
Julie, can I say one thing? You won't get a shift for your the permitting, okay? Because we don't know when those are going to take place.
Right.
We can't do those. But we'll put in a shift for your training today, but we'll put it in after the fact.
Oh, I don't typically put in shifts for training. I
Oh,
just
you
add
don't?
it to the, no, I just add it to
Okay.
their time.
All right. I stand corrected. Thank you. All right.
It's a lot easier. It's a lot less labor
No problem.
intensive. So anyway, when you do see your shift come in again, that's going to be communicated to you through Marcelo and Jen. They'll let you know when the program's going to launch, because right now we're just waiting for permits, as Clara said. But when you see your shift, you're going to click on that and you're going to want to check in a couple days prior, a day or two prior to your shift. You want to select check-in. To be clear, check-in does not clock you in. That just acknowledges that you've received your shift and that you are going to be present for your shift. You're acknowledging it and accepting it. Does not clock you in. So day of, Marcelo will communicate where you guys are going to meet. I don't foresee a location. Sometimes when I manage the Wild Fork Foods, sometimes I have them meet in the Wild Fork Food parking lot. Sometimes, like Tara with her program, she has them meet in like a Walmart parking lot, something centrally located. But it will just depend. Again, Marcelo will communicate that to you. But when you arrive, you're going to, again, pull up your Roosted HR app. You're going to click on your shift, and you're going to make sure you are positioned in front of your closest cross streets. The first day, probably not, but all the days following, your closest cross streets to where you're going to start that day. And you are going to press submit punch. It's going to route to a camera screen. You're going to take a selfie with those cross streets in your background so we can see clearly. You do need to make sure your location is on for this app, but sometimes there are errors, like the satellites are positioned in a funny spot and the location just doesn't show the right spot. So if you have those cross streets behind you visible, then that will help. Yes, Claire.
I do have a question regarding the cross street situation. On the cross streets are great, I think, on the out punches, but Julie, if they're meeting a central location, doesn't the GPS not allow for a cross street? Shouldn't they just take a picture of them being in front of Wild Fork Foods or with the group, just something that identifies that they're on site, right?
That's why I said, like, the first day, I'm sure they're going to have a group meeting. I don't know. Then the rest of the days, it depends on how Marcelo wants to manage. Maybe he will communicate with them and have them go directly to their site. Maybe he'll have them meet as a group. I don't know. First day, just make sure you're capturing the scenery around you. But if you are on site where you're going to start, make
Julie,
sure you have
sorry to interrupt you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt you. I got kicked out 2 times from the meeting.
Yeah.
It's someone saying somebody removed me. That's why I'm just joining again and letting you know.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
Oh, it's probably me. I probably clicked on something. I mean, I'm sure it's me because I was clicking over here.
It's probably Robbie. I can.
yeah, it is.
Wow, man. Gloves are off today. Well, we're also recording this, Lavish, so if you can catch up with that, and I will download this deck and email it out to you guys as well.
Thank you.
So anyway, what we were saying is download the Roosted app to your phone. That's how you're going to need to clock in and out. You need to check in 24, 48 hours prior to your shift. The check-in just acknowledges that you received your shift and you'll be there. Day of the event, again, you're going to pull up your Roosted HR app, press submit punch. It's going to route to a camera screen. You're going to take a selfie outside of your vehicle, not in your vehicle, capturing the scenery around you. First day, you guys are probably going to have like a group meetup place. So just make sure you're capturing the scenery around you, and make sure your location is on for this app. And I would keep an eye on it as well, your time punch, and make sure it is going through. Sometimes they just don't go through, but you do need to, I would keep an eye on that and make sure if it doesn't go through, you would communicate to Marcelo that it's not going through. So you're going to work your shift and use the SalesRabbit app during your shift. But once you're done, Marcelo's giving you guys the all clear. You are going to, again, pull up the Roosted HR app. You're going to click on your shift and press submit punch out. Again, it's going to route to the camera screen and you're going to take a selfie. This time, you're going to capture the cross streets in the background behind you. For sure. We know for sure that you're going to be out in the field doing that. So make sure those cross streets are there. Your location should be on, but sometimes it gets a little wonky with the satellites or whatnot. So just make sure that location is on and you're capturing the cross streets. After you submit that, you do have the option to sign for hours. If you forget, you will still get paid. So it's okay if you forget. However, I would encourage you to tap on that sign for hours because it has a summary of all your time punches in that screen. And I would suggest taking a screenshot and keeping that information for your own records in case you have any questions. But once again, if you don't check in prior to your shift, you aren't going to be able to clock in. So it's imperative that you check in because that allows you to get clocked in and paid. And again, I enjoy getting paid. I don't know about you guys. Paydays are the 1st and 15th of each month. So the way it works is depending on where your shift falls, the paycheck will literally be printed out on the 1st or the 15th and then mailed out to you. So it could take up to 5 business days to reach you, possibly longer, just depending on the postal service, but it will be a physical check. We do run photo contests to try to make it fun because it does get monotonous. You're just walking and hanging tags and walking and hanging tags. So we'll set up a shared drive we'll have Marcelo set up a shared drive so you guys can drop photos, 5 to 10 photos each day of cute little door fronts, something that catches your eye. If something's a little bit unusual, cute little doormat or sign or whatever you find along your way, and the winner will receive a $10 gift card. And that's it. That's all I have for you guys. Any questions about any of this? Okay. Well, be on the lookout for an email. Once this video uploads, I'll get it uploaded to YouTube and then share the link and download this training deck with you and also share that with you. I'll follow up with an email.